Hey everyone, this is a quick demo of the CorDapp that we used during the bootcamp for the post-mortem blog post. You can find the link to the blog post in the link below the video. And as a sort of introduction, what we'll do to demo this Auction CorDapp is we'll have the complete walkthrough from the beginning to the end. And as part of this walkthrough, we will deploy Corda network, add 2 nodes to the network, making the total of 3 nodes, install 2 CorDapps, the finance CorDapp and the auction CorDapp, connect to node 1, create an asset, then create an auction for this asset, then issue cash to nodes 2 and 3, then connect to node 2, check that the node has the cache issued to it, then check, then we'll actually use the cache to bid on the asset that is part of the running auction by that point, and then once we bid, we'll check that the bid's been logged, and this will be the end of the demo. Let's start by creating a project, a consortium project. Let's call it Corda Auction. A consortium project that will hold the Corda network, our private Corda network that we will use to run the auction for the demo. Let's give it Corda name, pick Corda blockchain protocol. Let's use Amazon Web Services located in Oregon, because why not? And let's create the network. It will take a few minutes to create the network, and we'll get back to it when the private permissioned Corda network is deployed, and then we'll add a couple of nodes. Okay, it only took a few minutes for the network to deploy. And by the way, you can invite members to the project, and the members should be able to deploy other nodes on this Corda network. You can invite them by providing their emails. However, we're not going to do this for this demo. Instead, what we're going to do now is add a couple more nodes to the network that we have already deployed. To do that, we went to the network, and we are going to click the Add Node button. We're gonna give those nodes names, pick other cloud providers, and just click add another node. Let's name the other node node 3. You can add as many nodes as you want. It's all very scalable. Corda itself is a very scalable network. And just click Add Nodes. And let's wait for those nodes to deploy as well, which is going to take even less time than to deploy the first node. No, the first node is part of the Corda network. Because when we deploy the Corda network, for the first time, we deploy other service nodes as well, which are the network map service, which is basically a catalog of all the Corda nodes on the network, and the notary service, the notary service of the Corda network that prevents the Corda blockchain from double spends. So we'll get back to it when the 2 other nodes are deployed. And now that all the 3 nodes are deployed, we are going to install the CorDapps on each of them. Each CorDapp consists of workflow and the contract. We're just going to go to the, as you can see, we're going to go to the node, pick the CorDapps tab, click Install CorDapp, and we're going to install the CorDapps. We're going to, on each of the nodes, we're going to install the Corda Finance CorDapp and the Auction CorDapp. And each CorDapp consists of a workflow in the contract, and on each of the 3 nodes, we're going to install one by one. First, the Corda Finance workflow, then the Corda Finance contract, then the auction workflow, then the auction contract. And it's very easy on Chainstack. Just select the workflow and the contract and click install. And we're going to do that on each of the 3 nodes. Each time you install the CorDapp on a node, it reboots. So you'll have to wait a bit for that to complete and then repeat the operation for each of them. As you can see in the UI, which I'm going to show you in a second. All the 3 nodes are now in maintenance mode. They're rebooting because they're installing the workflow. Okay, so we have installed the 4 jar files representing the 2 CorDapps, the Corda Finance CorDapp and the Auction CorDapp on each of the 3 nodes. And what we're going to do now is we're going to connect to node 1. And we're going to use a Docker image for that we have created here in Chainstack. We're going to be using the Corda shell, and we're going to mount, as you can see here, we're going to mount the CorDapps directory that we have, which also which is local on my machine, and it holds the 4 jar files of the 2 CorDapps that we have installed on each of the nodes, so that we can interact with those. And to connect, well, the documentation, the instructions linked below in the video have all the instructions, but just to give you an idea of how easy it is, we basically run a Docker image and we supply the RPC hostname and the basic authentication credentials, which are the username and the password. As you can see here. And we just connect to node 1. Node 1 here. Okay, took a couple of seconds to connect to node 1, and just to be sure that we have all the required CorDapps installed, we're gonna run flow list, which will show all the flows that we have in there. Installed, and you can see we have the auction flows and the cash flows, which are part of the Corda Finance CorDapp and the Auction CorDapp. Now that we are currently on node 1, and what we're going to do is we're going to create an asset as described in the complete walkthrough, which again is in the link below. What we're going to do is create an asset, and the asset is going to be called WWF, and the description of the asset is the World's Wildlife Fund. And the image URL we're going to provide as none, as we're not going to, this field is basically used for the web application, which we're not going to use in this demo. Okay, as you can see, the flow completed, and we have created the asset, and we're going to check the asset ID by running the vault query on the nodes, and you can see here that the asset has been created, and this is the ID of the asset, which we're going to use now, as we're going to provide the asset ID in the create auction flow. So what we are going to use, we have created an asset called WWF at this point. We're going to use this asset to start an auction. Basically, you need to have an auction for other people to interact with the auction flow. And we're going to provide the base price is $10 and the auction item is the ID of the asset that we have created previously. We were using that here. And the bid deadline, it's just the date when this auction will end. Okay, we have the auction. We have started the auction, and now other participating nodes, namely node 2 and node 3 in this demo, can bid on this auction. However, for the other nodes or for any nodes, basically to be able to bid, they need to have some cash distributed to them, issued and distributed to them. And for cash to be issued and distributed to them, this is where the Corda Finance demo CorDapp is part of the flow, and we need to run this command start issue cash, and we're going to be distributing $10 to each of them, and we're going to use the recipients list. And here in the recipients list, what we are providing is the legal names of the other two nodes that we have. This is the legal name of node 1, and this is the legal name of node 2. To get those legal names, again, very easy. You just go to the Chainstack platform UI, and you just copy the legal names. Just click copy. Node 1, node 2, and node 3. These are the node 2 and node 3. And this is where we are engaging the Corda Finance CorDapp. And hit enter and distribute the cash to them. So what we're going to do now is we're going to use different tab to connect to node 2. This is we're going again to use the Docker image to do that. Connect to node 2 and use the connection details again that you can get by just going to node details in the Chainstack platform UI. Get all the basic authentication credentials and the RPC host name. We're connected to node 2, and let's check if we have the cache distributed to this node, which we did previously from node 1. And we do this by running the vault query. You can see that $100 been issued by node 1, this legal name of node 1 to node 2. So at this point, what we have is an asset created by node 1. The flow started, the auction flow started for this asset by node 1 as well. And we have the cash distributed to nodes 2 and 3. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to first check the auction ID of the auction that is running right now, because we'll need this ID to bid on this auction, basically on the item on this auction. And what we have is, we can do this by running the vault query. And as you can see, this auction has received the 0 total bids so far. And this is the auction ID that we're going to use. And we're going to bid $20 on this. Basically, we're going to vote with the $20 of the $100 that we have in there by engaging the bid flow, the flow of the auction called bid flow. We're going to do this is the auction ID. These are the $20. and hit enter. And I have completed the flow. Just to be sure, we check the auction state again. And we can see that the $20 is the highest bid at this point. The base price, if you remember, is $10, and total bids. So a total of $20 has been bid, or in our case, we can call it voted with $20 for the auction item. And this is pretty much it. Again, refer to the blog post or the post-mortem. Feel free to forward this CorDapp and modify it to your needs and play around. And yeah, this completes the demo, and see you around.